Hey guys, it is San here. Welcome back to the Style Ward, guys. To the Style Ward. I'm like tongue twisted here. Hope you guys had an amazing holiday. Merry Christmas, Merry belated Christmas. I took a break, a day off, just for taking in the holiday vibes, even though it was done solo by myself here. I just wanted to, just take a moment to myself to breathe, relax, recover, recuperate, restore. Anywho, so I'm back. How are you guys doing? Hope you all are doing great. Thank you all so much for being a subscriber here on my channel. If you are new, I'd like to welcome you. Glad to have you all. And so yeah, let's get into today's video, and it's a little different. We're gonna do a life bit today, and I'm gonna share with you my reason for going back to my natural hair and the journey of it all. So it was about, let's see, perhaps 3 to 4 years now. I don't remember exactly when. I have to find the very first pic that I posted when I did my big chop, but that's essentially what I did. Okay, so here's what happened. So I've never been a person to wear fake hair. I've always, even before going back to my natural roots, my natural hair, when I had relaxed hair, that's all I did to my hair. I relaxed it and I would style it differently. But I always wore my own hair, even when it was relaxed. However, I realized that my hair my scalp was getting burnt every time I got a relaxer. So I decided that, it's just not worth it. After having it was a moment of awakening, guys. It really was. And let's go back a bit though, before I get into that. So I grew up with my grandmother and on an island, and my mom sent for us I was at the tender age of 11. Prior to us leaving the island to come here, she got us a permanent residency with our paperwork and everything was straight and in order. And it was hard for me as a little girl to leave the island because I didn't want to leave behind my childhood best friend. So I'm doing a bit of self-care here while I'm talking to you. So let me just add that in there. So if you see me keep looking down, I'm actually painting my nails at the moment. So anywho, I didn't want to leave behind my childhood best friend and all of the leisure, the fun, the exploration, the adventure I had growing up as a little girl on the island. It was just being out in nature so much, the water, the ocean, the rivers, yeah, guys, it was so much fun. Not to mention the fruits was just amazing. Anywho, so of course I'm a child. I don't have a say in, where I go to that regard, whom I live with, because I'm still underage. So my mom decided to send for us from our grandmother, and prior to leaving, she had came down to the island, my mom that is, and my hair has always been natural. And my grandmother would always have my siblings and I have 2 older sisters, and she would pay someone in the town to do our hair every single weekend. So I never did my natural hair when I was a little girl, and so I never knew of how to do it. So my mom relaxed my hair and my sister's hair prior to us coming here to America, and her reason was because we were going to get bullied and teased for having natural hair. I didn't understand it as a little girl. I just thought that was ridiculous. But, you know, so she didn't relax our hair. She pressed it. She pressed it with, you know, those pressing irons. Those hot combs that you put in the fire. Or, you know, they come with a little metal grill-like holder. And there's an opening in the middle. And there's this thick metal base that surrounds it. And you just stick the, you know, the hot comb in there and heat it up, and it straightens your hair. But man, did it have your hair smelling like, you know, toast. Like it was frying your strands of hair. So that wasn't healthy. So she stopped doing that because she didn't have time to keep doing that for all three girls. So she decided to relax our hair. And that was after we came here to America. She relaxed it, but she straightened it. She hot comb straightened it. And again, I didn't understand that because I grew up with my natural hair. Why would I be bullied and teased for wearing my natural hair? I thought that was so ridiculous, and I didn't understand it. Anywho, so all that being said and done, I, you know, had to maintain this now relaxed hair as I got older and older. You know, I grew up, started maturing as a woman, as a young lady. And I had to take responsibility now for doing my relaxed hair. So it was easy to just take a comb and just pull right through it and, you know, do whatever you want to do to manipulate it and get it to look the way you want, because, you know, the strands were straight. So it was easy peasy. Well, after doing that for a while, because I had to maintain this new type of hair that I wasn't used to, and learning that I also had to maintain it if I want to keep it straight so it doesn't go back to being my kinky, curly, natural hair, that every 3 months I would have to do a new relaxer. And I thought, really? Anywho, so I did it. I maintained the standard of really society, because that's really what my mother was following. She didn't know any better, so she was following suit to the ignorance. Anywho, so throughout the years, I realized that whenever I went to get my hair relaxed, that my scalp would wind up getting burned up from the chemical, from the relaxer. I would wind up with scabbies on my scalp, my hair sticking together like glue, clumped together, and I would have to spend hours trying to, you know, declump it, like literally, because of the burn that took place. And also what happened was my scalp became rather liquidy, like it was like bleeding clear liquid or something. Like seriously, when I touch it, it would sting and burn like crazy. So after doing that for so many amount of years, came here at age 11. So from grammar school all the way into adulthood after having children, and this was just about 3 or 4 years ago, I had an epiphany of awakening moment in time where I said, this is ridiculous. I pay someone every 3 months to torture me, literally, to burn up my scalp, clump up my hair, okay, and leave me in this condition just to try to look like someone or something that I'm not. I was like, this is crazy. Just in that moment, I decided, that's it, no more, this is insane. I'm not perming my hair, I'm not relaxing my hair anymore. And I decided to go back to being natural. However, I didn't know what all of that entails, because again, as a, you know, from the point where I had to handle my own hair, you know, because again, my grandmother hired someone to do my sisters and I hair when we were little girls, and every weekend. So I never handled my natural hair, but I did handle my relaxed hairs, and it was really simple. Again, it's straight. So I wasn't ready to let go of my length. So when I decided to go back natural and not relaxing my hair anymore, and my natural hair started to grow in, I was one of those people that did not want to let go of the length, and so I had pitiful moments of having natural kinky coily hair at the roots and stringy straight hair at the ends. And I tried to hold on to it for as long as possible, and then one day I was just like, this is ridiculous, just cut it off. So I did the big chop. I did the big chop, chopped it all off, and realized that, oh my gosh, when I did that, I felt so liberated instantly. I felt light and free. I don't know. It just did a spiritual thing for me, guys. I just felt, wow, empowered. I even loved myself even more. I saw this young, fresh face come forward out of all of that heavy, laden down, destroyed scalp and burning and clear liquid bleeding scalp. I just saw this beautiful young lady. And I mean, of course, I had children and they were, still around 12, 11 and so on. But I just saw this new creature, this new person looking in the mirror, appreciating and loving herself even more, because I've come to now accept myself fully. And I think that was it. That was what really did it, was that I now accepted myself fully, whereas before I was just ignorantly relaxing my hair because it was what we were conditioned to do, because we were told that our type of hair is ugly over the years, from those very racist of days. And I never had that thinking though, because I never saw my hair as ugly. I didn't grow up with that mindset. I mean, I grew up with my natural hair, and it only got relaxed because my mother did it prior to upon us coming here to this country. And so I didn't have any insecurities about whether or not my hair was beautiful. That was something all new to me here. But what I did not understand was how to care for my natural hair, because again, I never touched it. So here I was with this big chop. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just chopped off all my hair. Yes, I feel liberated. I feel awesome, but what do I do? And of course, guys, because we live in an environment where people have our type of hair, people have been shunned, have been shamed for wearing our type of hair. You take on a bit of that sort of thinking, and you're like, oh my gosh, is my hair good enough? Are people gonna like me now that I went back to my natural hair? Is it suitable for society? Is it acceptable for the workplace? So all of those thoughts started to run in through my head for a brief moment though, and then I said, hold on, I don't do that. I don't even care what people think about me. It's more important about what you think about yourself, because when you allow other people's voice to get in your head, it's a dangerous thing, guys. You're treading on dangerous grounds. You're treading on sinking sand, because you're looking to be validated, accepted, loved, or to be a part of something, to feel, appreciated or, accepted. And it's never about, and it never allows you to be true and authentic to yourself. So you walk around going through life being this restricted, limited person, living based upon other people's perceptions and beliefs and standardized ways of doing things that aren't even true, that aren't even your reality, and certainly doesn't have to become it if you don't allow it. So I swiftly kicked those thoughts to the curb. I was like, this is ridiculous. I just need to learn how to do my hair. I accept myself, I accept my hair, and therefore I accept myself fully. Now I just need to figure this thing out. So here I was with my big chop, short, cut down to scalp, and I did it myself. I was in the bathroom one day and I just took the scissors and snip, 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 snip. and that was that. And I was like, oh my gosh, how do I care for my natural hair? And I was just online one day and a video came across my path from YouTube about natural hair. And it was, the first person was, what do they call her? Alex. She's now called Alex L, but she's now an author. But she started off with a YouTube channel doing natural hair. So she was one of them. Mahogany Curls and Natural 85 Whitney are the three girls that I started watching, and then learned how to do my own natural hair. And from what they showed, I just tailored what they, the advice that they give, the tips that they gave to my own liking that works for me. So I wound up doing my own DIYs and mixing up stuff. I made a hair and body shea butter mixture. I mean, they didn't do that. They didn't use shea butter, but something just popped in my head to use shea butter, and it worked, because normally I only use shea butter on my body for myself and my sons. But this time around, I decided, well, let me add some shea. I wonder, can I use this thing in my hair as well? And I just decided out of a whim of a moment to try it out. And guys, the results I got from doing that was spectacular. My natural hair went from being dry all the time to now being super moisturized simply by adding shea butter to it. And I wrote a blog post about that, as well as shared it on social media. And then shortly after that, I noticed now several people were now putting shea butter, using shea butter into their hair care as well, not just body care. Anywho, so I tweaked, I tested and tried. I DIY'd everything that I used in my hair, because I've always been a health conscious person, so I didn't want toxic ingredients on my hair and scalp, as I don't want it on my body or in my body. So I made sure everything I bought was organic, non-toxic, cold press, unrefined. When it came to essential oils, that they were 100% therapeutic grade, unadulterated stuff without any toxic solvents and so on, that they were processed naturally so you can get the most out of them, that they are still retaining their nutrient value. So anywho, it turned out beautifully. I had an amazing hair and body butter that worked superiorly. My hair began to grow. It was flourishing, looked healthy. And I was like, yes, but for a whole year though, I wore my hair under hats, because again, that was the point when I was battling back and forth about what to do with my hair. I still wasn't sure how to style it. I was still a bit self-conscious about what other people thought. So those thoughts, they came and they went. And I just thought, after a year, this is ridiculous. I'm gonna wear my natural hair out. And I took the hat off and I started doing Bantu knots, because I remember my sister used to Bantu knot my hair, and I started braiding my hair. And I realized just how important the style preparation method helped in caring for our natural hair. What I did realize though, when I first did my big chop, is that I had two different textures going on. I had coily and I had bone straight. So I didn't understand that, because they now have this chart, hair chart description for our hair type, where they have like 4C, 4A and whatnot, 3. And I don't know where I would fall on that chart, because I have, as you can see, I have a mixture of, it pulls some out, of straight and coily hair. So I really don't know where I would fall on that chart. So I thought, wow, that's very extreme. So that's why when I, put my hair down or do certain styles, you see it more being straight and with a bit of coils or curls in it here and there. So actually you would consider it like 3 different patterns. It's like coils, curls, very few of them, and then straight. So I don't know where I would fall on that chart. So that's the mixture I have going on, because my great grandmother was a bona fide native woman. So she had that really long jet black straight hair down her back. So yeah, anywho. So I must have gotten some of that through that bloodline, native bloodline. Anywho, so I now have fully embraced myself as a natural. And I wouldn't go back, guys. I'm just going to be honest. I enjoy my natural hair so much. I'm very much an own natural type of woman. I rather take care of my own hair than take care of fake hair, because to me it doesn't make sense to abandon or neglect my own hair on my head, on my scalp, and instead spend money and products and so on, buying products and whatnot and dryers and curlers to take care of fake hair more than I do my own. And also, I just wanted to be a part of that movement of one embracing themselves fully, their natural hair and all, to be a positive example to our young girls, our younger generation coming up, so that they can embrace themselves, so we can break this shame cycle, this hatred cycle that has been, forced upon us, conditioned, where our mind got conditioned to think and believe that our type of hair is ugly, it's not natural, it's not beautiful, it's not acceptable for the workplace, and so on and so on. And that is not true. And what I have realized is that when you come to accept yourself, people may not accept you at first, but eventually they will. But if you stick to it, okay, as long as you hold your ground, come what may, despite the judgment, the criticism, the eyeballs you get, the looks, the sneers you get, the bewilderment and the curiosity that you get, you hold your ground and stick with it. You will come to, people will come to accept you the way you are. They'll begin to open up to it, because now their opinions are not shaping your thoughts. It's like you attract what you think about yourself, and then people will start feeling the same way about you. It's like if you don't believe in yourself, then most of the time no one else will. So when you come to accept yourself, most of the time, eventually everybody else will as well. So, and only the hateful few will still, cast those stones and negativity against you, but never mind them. Let's look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is most people do, and so do you. So, and that's all that really matters. So, yeah, I would get the looks, and I would just put on my okay and type of look as well, and I just stood my ground, and I never let anyone shame me into wearing my natural hair. So yeah, and it's been an amazing journey thus far. It's been an up and down one, because I've big chopped my hair at least 4 times already. So if I hadn't, my hair would be down my back right now. I can show you where my hair is right now, lengthwise. But again, I started and stopped, and and I must say, in the beginning, when I first did my big chop, because of that voice that was telling me, oh, this is not acceptable, I had went back to being natural shortly after that, and then quickly I snapped back out of it and went back to my natural hair again. So it was a battle, guys. It was a battle, but it didn't last very long, and I finally dug in and stuck with my roots, my natural hair roots, that is. So because I've chopped off my hair at least 4 times, and just going through a stressful period for the past 10 years, that also really takes a toll on your health and whatnot. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But I chopped off my hair 4 times, so this is where my hair is. And because, again, my hair is mostly I don't know, whenever I do my style preps, my hair is when I unravel it in the morning, it comes out like this, like straight. If I do a bantu knot, it'll have curls to it. When my hair was shorter, I saw more of the coils, but now that it's getting longer, when I remove the style prep method, whether that's bantu knots, braids, two-strand twist, French twist, whatever, in the morning, I do them at night, and then in the mornings. If you haven't seen my tips for taking care of natural hair, check that out, because I shared a lot of things that is important to do to care for and grow your natural hair. So anywho, this is what happens when I unravel my style prep method from the night before. In the morning, my hair is straight like this. So, and it still has its coils, you know, it still has its coils interjected in between the strands and so on. So when I wash my hair, it goes from this to being coily, really super coily, like tiny coils. I don't even know if I have any to show. No. So I get these like loose like curls and the straightness that you see going on right now. With my hair like this, it's almost showing its truest length, but because there are coils also mixed in between there, I would literally have to flat iron it for you to actually see the true length. But for right now, it's at my, let's see, it's at the base of my neck. Guess that you would, yeah, just right here at my neck. And yeah, that's that. And I've just been enjoying playing around with it, trying out different hairstyles to see what I can, what else I can. And our hair is so super flexible. I love that you can take it from long to short just by Bantu knotting it. How it's bendable, how I can just touch it and shape it. Like, look, you know, and that's amazing. It's so flexible. And I just love my natural hair. I prefer wearing it than not, you know, and I'm not knocking people who wear fake hair. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But for me, I prefer wearing my natural hair mostly. I'm not saying I wouldn't wear a wig. I would when I feel like it. And that's very rare. Or maybe if I'm rushing and don't have enough time, then that would be the situation. But for the most part, I'm a natural. I would say 99% of the time. I did try out protective styles in the beginning when I did my first big chop, and it didn't work out because it was so tight, guys. It was so super duper tight that I couldn't handle it. I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't sleep. And I was just thinking to myself, it was a sewn in weave at that. So the lady braided my hair in tiny braids going backwards, and then she sewed in weave hair into my hair using needle and thread, because I didn't want that glue stuff. That's crazy, putting glue on your scalp and your hair. It's going to take your hair out and damage your brain cells because that's toxic stuff coming from that glue. Anywho, so I elected to do the needle and thread. And it was so tight. She braided my hair so tight, and then she sewed in the hair so tight that my brain was throbbing that night when I went to go to bed. And I paid $100 and something for the hairstyle. And one thing, I'm cutting it out that night because I had to get up in the middle of the night because every vein in my face and my head was like pulsating, boom, boom. It was just excruciating. And I was like, I don't know how women do this thing. This is crazy. And I got out, snip, 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 cut out the fake hair. And I was like, oh, what a relief. And I realized I just love my natural hair. And then one other time, you know, I was continuing to watch my favorite YouTubers in natural hair, Natural 85, Mahogany Curl, and Alex L when she was on YouTube doing hair. And they were doing like Marley Twist on their own. They were doing braids on their own. I was like, oh, I need to do that and kind of, you know, give my own hair a break. Because it is good. And I noticed that my hair did grow when I did those protective styles. It actually did help it to grow because you're not constantly manipulating your own hair, stressing it, you know. So it gives it a nice break and rest. And then, you know, it's underneath all of that other fake hair. So it gives it a chance to grow. And, you know, hair grows faster in darkness. Kind of like a seed, right? So, yeah. So I did a 2-strand Marley Twist in my hair myself, and it turned out beautiful. I loved it. So that was the only 2 times that I like wore protective styles. And then here and there, sporadically, very rare moon type of thing, I would wear a wig. And yeah, I actually would like to get some more just to play around with different looks for when I feel like doing that. So moments like that, I call them hair play, where I just want to, you know, put away my own natural hair and just do something a little different. But again, that's rare. I'll try to do it more often, you know, to see what that feels like. But again, I don't want to go do it so much, so excessively where it takes out your edges, because again, all that tension on the edge of your hair, even wearing wigs, can actually eat out your edges as well. And then also I see a lot of girls using glue. I don't know. Anyway, to each its own on that. I'll stick with my natural hair most of the time, as I've always done. So, since going back to being natural. So yeah, guys, that's it. I hope this story has been helpful in some way, maybe encouraging, and help you, stick through it, even with the bumps in the road. Even if you're questioning whether this is acceptable or not, know that it is. As long as you accept yourself, eventually everyone else will come to do the same. It's all about you loving yourself and loving your hair thus, and accepting it, and it all just falls together. It all just comes together. What other people think, the looks that you'll get won't even matter, because you're feeling good about yourself. I know when I cut off my hair and did the big, the big chop, I look so many years younger. It's incredible. Yeah, it was mind-blowing and very liberating again. So I hope this video will be also a liberating one to you as well, so you can empower yourself to accept yourself and love yourself fully. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate your time here on the Style Ward, and I will catch you in the next one. And don't forget to give it a thumbs up if what I share here helps, and you like my content. Yeah, give it a like, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I share a new video. And also don't forget to comment and share as well. I thank you all so much, and as always, have yourselves a wonderful rest of this beautiful Friday. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!